Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're really well. I've recently been getting so many questions about how I've been styling my hair, how I've been doing my makeup. Obviously I've been posting every day, so you've been seeing a lot of my hair and seeing a lot of my face recently. I thought I would do a full-on beginning to end how I style my hair and how I do my makeup every day, or how I have been for the past month or so. The majority of the products are the products from my Project 10 pan because obviously I'm trying to use those up. No surprises in today's video, lots of favorites, lots of things that you know I love, but this is the look. It's nothing groundbreaking, let's be real. Let's get on with it. So this is real humbling. Let's sort this out because I'm not feeling myself right now. Let's address the elephant in the room. I mean, I've literally never in my life had a spot of this size, and I've never had a spot so close to my eye. I don't know if you can see, my whole inner corner of my eye has swollen up. Can you see that? Shook. I'm angry. Okay, let's sort this out. Like I said in the intro, I'm gonna do like my full routine, how I get myself ready on like a day-to-day basis. Starts with tea, wet hair, she's ready to go. The only thing I wish I'd done was fake tan, because my tan is super patchy, so just ignore that, okay? So the first thing I have done is toned. This is the Ole Henriksen Glow 2.0 Dark Spot Toner, but it's in a little travel case. So I just pop that on my skin, and now I'm gonna use some skincare. My skin has been so dry recently, so I just want moisture. So I'm gonna start with a lip balm. This is the Grown Alchemist lip balm in Vanilla Watermelon. If I'm honest with you, I don't actually know where this came from. I think it came in a PR package or in like a goodie bag, something, because I don't like the smell of watermelon, so I know I wouldn't have bought it, but I really like it. It's super thick and hydrating, which is what we need right now. Next, I'm gonna apply a serum. You guys know this is like an OG love of mine. It's the Ole Henriksen Truth Serum, and it's like the most gorgeous hydrating vitamin C serum, and it smells so nice. It smells like oranges, and look at that. Oh my god. So I just slather myself in that. I pull my skincare down my neck. Oh my god, my tan looks so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to exfoliate it and redo it tonight. Look at that glow. And then to moisturize, I'm gonna use the Boscia Revitalizing Black Hydration Gel. I love how this makes your skin look like it's super duper hydrating. Feels amazing, but it also looks like immediately brightening, which just gives me all of the hydration at the moment. I feel better already. Caffeine. Finally, I'm gonna use the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream, which is like such a classic. Everyone loves this stuff. Just love everything that he makes. So just tap that over your eyeballs. And then, very important step, even though we're not leaving the house, a little bit of SPF. This is the Ren Clean Screen Mineral SPF Mattifying Sun Cream. So I know I am now just gonna put something matte on top of all the glowy products that I just used, but I am gonna then put more glow on top. And I'm just popping this on. It looks slightly blue when you apply it, but it goes away. I can't believe my eye is so swollen. Okay, so you're gonna have a lot of familiar products in my everyday makeup because obviously Project 10 pan, I'm using up products, and also it's my everyday stuff, so it's the stuff that I talk about all the time. So to start, we've got a Project 10 pan. This is my Too Faced Hangover X Primer, which I'm trying to use up, with my By Terry Cellulose Brightening CC Serum in the shade Sunny Flash, which is just my favorite thing in the entire world. So I do a pump and a half of the Too Faced, and then I do a pump and a half of the By Terry, and then I just mix them together on the back of my hand, and then you just want to rub them in. I like this because it's so hydrating. Like, look at that. Oh, yeah, I love that it's really, really hydrating, and the By Terry just adds a little bit of a tint, so I feel like you don't have to wear as much foundation because I mostly wear foundation to even out my skin tone. So this does some of that for you. I think I'm already looking better. Another Project 10 pan. This is the Dior Face and Body Foundation. And what shade do I use? 3W. Now, luckily, I do really like this foundation. It's quite, it's on the slightly more matte side. Again, another reason why I like to use such hydrating bases with it. I'm gonna use my beauty blender to pounce that in because it adds a little bit more moisture as well. It's like a medium coverage. Looks quite natural, and it is, to me, it is like it is a really good everyday foundation because it is that medium coverage, kind of matte. It sets in place, stays on all day. So if you're in the market, I do really like it, but after this, I'm not going to be repurchasing it because I'm bored sick of it. Trying new foundations is my favorite. Foundations and concealers, I think, are my favorite things to try and test. So Project 10 pan and not being allowed to buy any new foundations and concealers has actually been really like sad. Of course, the concealer I've been using is another Project 10 pan product. It is my Nabla Close Up Stay Full Smooth Concealer, and I use the shade Creamy Beige. Really nearly gone. Very exciting. I'm scraping the tube. So what I do is pop this under my eye. Oh, ow, that really hurts. And then on blemishes, I'm using the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer in the shade 3W, so 3 warm. And to be honest, it's a little bit light for covering blemishes right now, but my only real blemish is under my eye. So I just use this around my nose. It's a nice, quite hydrating concealer, which I like, and it's super duper smoothing. I either take my Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand or my Max Factor dupe, whichever one is closer. This one was just the one that I grabbed. And I tap this on the tops of my cheekbones. Oh, this is also running out. I then just take my sponge and I start under my eye like these. And then I pull the sponge outwards and blend the highlighter out with the back of the sponge. And then I go backwards and forwards, and it kind of pulls the highlighter under my eye as well as up the cheekbone. So if I do it on this side so you can see. So blend and then pull up, and it's blending out the highlighter, blending out the concealer and blending them into each other, and it just makes the skin so glossy looking. Now usually I would just leave it like that, but we have a little friend under our eye. So in my opinion, the best concealer to cover blemishes ever is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is the shade Cafe Con Leche. Take a fluffy brush. Because it is a really matte concealer, it just stops any light from reflecting off of your blemish. That is, of course, if it's a raised blemish, like mine most definitely is. And I just pop it on the blemish and then blend around it. Gone for a lighter shade only because it's under my eye. And I'm gonna have to do it on the same on the other side as well, just so that it's even. One last cream product before we start to set. My Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. Again, this is in my Project 10 pan, and it's really like, I'm using it. I really want this to get used up because the shade range is so diabolical. It's not an inclusive product at all for me to be talking about. So I want this to get used up so that I can stop talking about it. But I basically just like to use this to create like a base for my bronzer. And I do this before I've set so that it's a super like creamy looking skin. Pull it up onto my forehead. Blend it literally over my eyebrows, under the chin. And you see that's just helped add a tiny bit of warmth. And then I go in and I contour. So this is just to add a little bit of shape, but mostly just to warm out the outer, warm up the outer perimeter of my skin. I'm gonna add a touch more highlighter just because I use that matte concealer under the eye. And I just wanna, you know, make sure that my skin is still nice and fresh looking. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. I do like to set quite well under my eyes because under my eyes crease pretty badly, so I use, this is actually a mixture of the Laura Mercier original setting powder and the shade Honey. Preferably use one loose powder, or mix them if you want to, but I had both, so I thought I'd make my ideal shade. I want the majority of the powder just to be directly underneath my eye, like in this very crevice. And I also want to make sure that I'm really setting the blemish as well. And I also bake the sides of my nose. So I'm just pulling the powder down the sides of the nose because we all know I do love a nose contour, and this just makes it a little bit easier to get those lines really straight, and it means you don't have to contour as harshly because you've already got a highlight to kind of help aid it. And then I just also press a little bit in the center of the chin and a touch between my brows. I keep the whole outer side without the translucent powder, and I don't leave that for like a crazy long time. I just allow it to sit for a few minutes. I'm gonna go in with the next Project 10 Pan product. Again, very close to getting used up. The MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NC30. I just use this to set underneath, so the bottom part of my cheek. I don't set here, but I do like to set down here because this is sometimes where I find my foundation fades. So I just add a little bit of extra coverage down there just so that it looks nice and even and lasts a little bit longer. But you can see that the cheekbone is still really glowy, which is what we want. And then to get rid of the bake, I actually take a little bit of that powder and I just tap it into my nose where that powder is setting. And it just, rather than having like a really harsh light under eye, it just helps it blend into the skin. But I don't kind of buff it because you don't want your foundation kind of separating on your nose, which is something that I know a lot of people struggle with. So that's my foundation set and on. You can see that my blemish is pretty well hidden. Onto brows. So I use my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, which is just, I've loved this for so many years, and the Max Factor Brow Shaper in the shade Deep Brown. So if you've been around these parts for a while, you might remember that I used to always use two different brow products, lighter color and then a darker color, and I'd use the lighter color as like the base and then the darker color for definition. And I've kind of started doing that again, to be honest. I don't know, I just did it the other day and I really liked how it looked. You guys know me, I am the queen of a big bushy brow. I love a brow. So I'm gonna go in with my Precisely My Brow. So I always start with little strokes at the front and then I connect them at the bottom. I did show you quite recently how I've been doing my brows. Pull it down and then I just mirror the top. Add some height to the arch and then extend the tail, you see? And then I just brush them through. So sometimes I'll just leave it like that, and then sometimes I'll also go in with the slightly darker color, add some really clear hairs like that. I don't know whether you can even tell the difference there. It just adds that little bit more texture to the brow and looks like there's actual hairs. That's how I've been doing my brows. You see the difference between the two? I said I like a bushy brow. Then I like to set my brows. I like them to look fluffy. I like them to stick up and be bushy and a little bit unruly looking. So the best product I've found for this is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Set. It's just a clear brow gel and it makes my brows stay where I put them, which is all I could ask for. I just kind of lay the brush down flat and dispense a lot of product, and then I pull it through to make the hairs stick up. They do need a bit of a trim, I won't lie to you. You see what I mean? Like, it looks fluffy, they stick upwards. And I pull these ones in to fill the gap where I don't have any real hair at the front. And I do use Gimme Brow as well, but I wait for this to dry and set, and then I go in with that afterwards. So the time has come for eyes. Where is my palette? So you guys know, Project 10 Pan, I'm trying to use up my NARS Loaded palette, and I'm getting there. These two are doing really well. My goal for next month is to have hit pan on this one, and this one's doing quite well as well. So I'm definitely making moves with this palette. The first shade I've been taking is the soft peachy color and a big fluffy brush, and all I'm doing is just whacking this through my crease And I basically pull this all the way up to the brow. Just build that up to a nice warm peach colour, and I pull it all the way out. Next I'm taking the warm medium brown, again on a fluffy brush, and I'm literally just gonna whack this in the crease. I like to keep my crease colour quite high because I feel like it helps lift the eye. So if I was to put it down here, I feel like it would droop. So I literally put the brush where I want the product to be the most concentrated. So just up here, do a little wiggle, and then start to pull it in and start to blend it out. You see, so it already looks like you've got two different colours in your crease because you've just concentrated one colour in different amounts in different places, so it adds definition without having to add loads of different eyeshadows. And then same on the other side. Where do you want it to be the most concentrated? Give it a little wiggle round and then begin to pull it in and begin to blend it outwards. And then what I like to do is mix the first two shades, so the peach and then light brown, and then I just kind of buff all over to blend that out really well. You don't want any harsh lines or edges or anything, and this just softens it up a little bit. Hello.
Look at it, wow.
Wow. Tim's got his new VR headset squishy liner thing.
Yeah, squishy liner thing.
To make his headset more comfortable?
Yes.
Is that what it is? So here is how we're looking, like every other look I do, just a nice warm brown in the crease. Next, I'm gonna take this cool tone brown. It's more of a gray. It's like a taupey gray. And I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush and do the exact same thing. Concentrate it high up here and pull it in and blend it out. And I like this because I like there to be like a warm halo around my eye. But because my hair is quite cool at the moment, I've been really liking a slightly cooler crease colour, and I also start to pull this down onto the lid as well. Pull it in, blend it down. I have a kind of terrible feeling that the lighting has looked horrible throughout this entire video, and if it has, I'm really sorry. Under the eye, I'm gonna mix together again the medium warm brown and the peachy shade with just a fluffy brush, and I really just go to town. I just smudge it all up under there and I pull it to meet the blend. So you just want to really wiggle it under there. It's also great if you are someone who struggles with creasing under the eye, which I do, so it kind of just buffs into that as well. And then same again, taking that slightly darker shade, the kind of cool grey, and then that just goes on the outer side. And we are going to be doing a liner, so if there's like a little gap, don't worry. I just wiggle on the outer third. I've been kind of like mixing it up on the lid, depends how I feel. So some days I feel like going like a matte, like a really light matte lid. And then other days I've been going for a gold, other days I've been going for a bronze. I think I'm going to do the flat matte today. So I need a little clean brush if I can find one in this place. So on the lid I'm taking this lightest shade, and this I'm just buffing into the lid on the inner third. And I just want this inner third to be super duper bright. It will just help to open up the eye, and also just helps the outer corner look darker without having to put loads of dark eyeshadow on for every day. I always think it adds like a higher contrast to the crease without adding loads and loads of eyeshadow. And then go in with the first colour we used, the soft peach. I'm just gonna put in between the lightest colour and the outer lid, and this will just help it blend a little bit. And I know this may seem like a lot of steps for every day, but once you do it every day, it's such a quick look, but looks really, really effective. And then finally, that warmest brown, I am just softly popping that in between the grey and the lid colour, just again to help with the blend. You want your lid to look really seamless. I've been loving eyeliner recently. I go through phases with winged liner. Sometimes I really am into it and sometimes it's like my worst nightmare. But right now we are friends. So I've been really liking the Too Faced Better Than Sex Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Liner. And I've been doing quite a small triangular wing, nothing really long, nothing too thin. So I just come out at quite a high angle and that's about as long as we're gonna go. And I only start it from the outer third of the lash line and then connect. Now we're going back into the eyeshadow palette and I'm taking just this highlight shade and I like a really, really bright inner corner. Nothing has changed. I've always loved a highlighted inner corner. I just think it makes your eyes look super bright and it's just quite oh, okay. Highlighting a swollen inner corner may not be the best idea. And then now that my brows are dry and I've done my brow bone highlight, I'm going to use a little bit of Gimme Brow from Benefit to finish off the brows. Add a little bit of bushiness, you know. Add some fibres to these puppies. Onto mascara. I'm at a bit of a crossroads with my mascara at the moment. I am having a really bad time with my lashes. They are really sparse and they're just not playing ball at all. I currently have 5 mascaras open in a desperate attempt to find one that's working with me right now. I am today gonna use my Toy Boy by Diego de la Palma. Let's hope I have a good lash day. I just don't think it's gonna happen though because my lashes are just currently conspiring against me, to be honest. So I curl them. And then my Toy Boy mascara, aka the most hilariously phallic and oversized mascara ever. Yep, nope, they're not playing ball. Now I'm gonna finish off my skin. So, another Project 10 pan, you say? Yes, indeed. If you aren't familiar with the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, it's a setting powder that has really small, really fine reflective particles in it, shimmers basically, but really fine. So I really like to put this directly under my eyes because I've set under my eyes with so many powders, but I then want to add some radiance back. So it's really well set into place. Or risky doing it on this eye actually. I may have just made the spot really obvious now. Oh, I usually do this, but now I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that today. It really brightens under your eyes and I really like it. Onto bronzer. So obviously we have the Chanel bronzer on as a base. I am now going to use a powder contour. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow, which is again in my Project 10 pan. I'm trying to use this up. And this is what I use to contour because it's slightly cooler. So I just pop this right at the back, right underneath my cheekbone. And we're not worrying so much about adding warmth anymore because we've got that cream bronzer underneath, which did that for us. This is now where we're adding shape. Focusing it at the back and then pulling it in. I'm sorry about this crazy lighting, it's dark outside. I've had to put loads of lights on and I feel like the lighting hasn't been the best, so I'm really sorry if it isn't. Pulling it down, like so. And then again, just bringing that around the temple. And then right at the back of the cheek to really deepen things up, I've used my Bobby Brown bronzer in the shade Natural, which is quite red and quite dark. So I just use this at the very top, at the back of the cheekbone, because if you bring this too far down, it's a little bit too much. So I just keep it at the back to really lift the back of the cheek. And I, again, Project 10 pan, have loved just mixing these two together from the Hourglass palette and popping this on the apple. I really like a lot of blush, like a bright pop right on the cheek. And I like this blush as well because it's not entirely matte, so it just keeps that fresh look. Do you know what I've not done? I forgot to contour my nose. Who is she? I usually contour my nose straight after I set it with powder. Wow. I used my hoola. I've finished my mini hoola, so now I'm onto a bigger hoola. This is not gonna run out anytime soon. And I'm just gonna contour my nose. Onto one of my favorite parts is the powder highlight. This is Becca Opal, absolute classic that I've used for honestly so many years. And this is also in my Project 10 pan. The lip combo that I've been wearing most days is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk 2, the medium one, and the original Pillow Talk. It's just the perfect everyday, soft, pinky nude, and the darker lip liner just adds a little bit more definition. So I just line my lips and then pop the Pillow Talk on top. And then finally I finish my face with whatever setting spray I'm using. So at the moment I've just been using the Huda Beauty Glow Cocoa Hydrating Mist. Douse myself in this. And then I just used the birthday card that Soph got me last year to fan my face. Okay, next I'm gonna do my hair with you, but I actually let my hair air dry. So I'm just taking it out of its towel and I'm gonna let this air dry. I'm gonna go make some breakfast, let my camera battery charge. I will see you guys in like 20 minutes, half an hour when my hair is dry. Hello, I've returned. Is my microphone on? So I know I said I was gonna let my hair naturally dry, but it was taking a little bit long for my liking. So I gave it a quick blast with the hairdryer, and I also blow dried my fringe, and I just use a big round brush and I just go side, and then I do the other side, and then I just blow straight down and hold it so it gets this big old puffy fringe. It's pretty straightforward. And then the rest of my hair, I just literally just did that. Also, some products that I put in my hair before I dry it, I always put my heat protectant on and a couple of like styling products. So the first thing I will spray on my hair when it's wet is the Schwarzkopf Got To Be Guardian Angel heat protectant spray, and I will brush this all the way from root to tip all over my hair to protect it. And then I put in a couple of styling products. So you will have seen this quite a few times on this channel. It is the Wella Body Crafter Flexible Volumizing Spray. It's almost like hairspray, but pre-styling. So it's like a pre-styling hold spray that smells amazing, and I just find that whenever I use this and then I style my hair, the hairstyle lasts so much longer than if I hadn't used this. I kind of just layer all three of these products on top of each other and then just brush it through once to distribute it throughout the hair. So I'll also pop that on. And finally, because I'm going for, at the moment, a very like piecey kind of tussled wave, like a beachy wave, I have fallen back in love with the Way Wave Spray, a weightless texture mist for effortlessly chic undone hair, infused with rice protein to add hold and memory for that just got out of the ocean and my hair dried perfectly look. And that is it to a T. It just makes your hair look really kind of gritty and grungy and cool, just how I like it. That is what I do while my hair is wet, and then I just brush it and let it dry, but I always do the fringe trick. So the curler that I've been using recently is the T3 Micro. It comes with 3 different wand attachments. This is the medium size, I believe. I'll try and find it and link it down below for you. I like it because it isn't tapered, so it doesn't go really ringlety. It keeps the ends ever so slightly straight so that it adds like a wave rather than a curl. So first things first, I need them to heat up, so let me just plug her in. I'm also just gonna separate my hair. I usually just bung up the top. Little sneaky tip, if you are like me and you're often running late for things, I will do this, curl the bottom, realize I'm running late, and then just leave it like this, and then you only have to curl the bottom half of your hair. I've done that more times than I care to admit on camera. Are you just gonna stand there?
Sorry.
Right, now they are heated up. This is super easy. I just take a section, quite a big piece to be honest, and I curl away from my face. If you drop a couple bits, that is a-okay. This isn't supposed to look perfect. And I really don't hold it for long. And you see what I mean by the ends? The ends almost look a little bit straight. That is what you want. Whereas if you use a tapered curling wand, the ends get super tight and then it looks a bit like ragdolly, which you don't want. Woohoo! I've been liking curling it recently because it's growing out a little bit. So this also makes it look a little bit shorter. Because obviously when you curl it, you're taking a little bit of length. That is the bottom right side already done. Because it's quite a big wand, you can take quite big pieces. And we don't hold it for long at all because again, you don't want it to be too tight. So you just hold it for a couple of seconds. You take the top and all of the curls are facing away from your face. When you get to the top layer, you really want to make sure you're getting volume at the root. So make sure you're curling all the way to the top. And that just helps volumize and like lift your hair because they will drop, like they're not gonna stay super duper curly, especially when you put some products in a sec. Half of this is the curling and the other half is the products that you put in your hair. And then when you get to the fringe, I just grab the shortest little bits at the side and give them a little bit of curl so that they kind of curl into the rest of the hair. And then it's up to you whether you want to curl the fringe, leave your fringe like completely straight. I kind of curl it to either side. Again, you don't have to. You can always keep it a little bit more straight. I curl them kind of into the rest of the hair and then it kind of looks like I don't have a fringe, but if I want the fringe I can still kind of pull it out. You see what I mean? Nice. So here's where we're at now. Now you just want to take your fingers, give it a good shake. Then once you're at that stage, go back in with your curler or your wand or whatever, if you're a professional and you want to call it what it is. You can then just go in and kind of pinpoint any places that you want a little bit more curl. I like these top few to have a nice bit of curl to them and the front pieces. Now what you're left with is what I'm left with is some pretty curly, fluffy looking hair. So again, I'm just gonna lightly this time kind of break them apart. I talked about this recently in my favorites video. This is the Way Matte Pomade. This stuff is perfect for this hairstyle. So I just take a really like small amount. That is probably even way too much. Pop that in the palm of my hand, rub it together so it gets really warm. Oh, it smells nice as well. And I just go in and basically do what I was just doing by like getting my hair kind of piecey and breaking it apart, but I'm now doing it with the pomade and pressing that into the hair. So that is gonna add hold, it's gonna add texture, and it's also gonna add that like matte finish, which makes it look really kind of beachy. So that this teamed with the wave spray makes your hair look so messy and grungy. Just how I like it. And I usually like it better on the second day. So day one, like freshly done like this, it even looks a little bit neat for me. But tomorrow when I wake up having slept on it, top tier. And make sure you get a little bit just in those roots as well for a bit of volume. Once you've got it somewhere that you're happy with it mess wise and you've got it kind of looking piecey, I always like to put a little bit of the pomade in my fringe because it kind of breaks it up and makes it look a little bit almost greasy. And once you've done that, you just want to set it in place with a little bit of hairspray, or you could use texturizing spray. My texturizing spray's run out, so I'm going to use hairspray. And this is just a normal hold, nothing too crazy, because I want my hair to still move and look natural and feel natural. So L'Oreal Elnet Normal Hold Hairspray. And I just do a little bit. This just makes me think of dance shows when I was a kid. Just smells like theatres. And that's it, man. And that's basically what I've been doing every day. So there you go, everybody. That is my current everyday hair and makeup routine. That's what I've been doing. Whenever you see me in the vlogs with hair and makeup done, that is how I've done it. The hair looks different literally every day. You never really know what you're gonna get with the hair. So that's just how it went today. I think it's all right. I usually do my hair like twice a week, and then for the rest of the week, it just gets messier and greasier and kind of how I like it. That is it. I really hope you guys enjoyed. You've been asking me so much how I do my hair and how I've been doing my makeup, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found that helpful, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.